All right, good morning. Good morning. You are welcome to today's lectures, DBT 253, Pharmaceutical Calculations. And the topic we treat today is numbers and numerals. You are familiar with numbers from your primary school, nursery school, even kindergarten, right? Then numbers, you are no longer, it's no longer a new thing to you. But as you advance, you start seeing some things some areas of numbers that you've not come across before. Now we are going to see something not really new, but something. Where is it? You know? Okay, what you come in. Now let's look at numbers. Numbers and numerals. If you're not careful, you may think that numbers numbers and numerals are the same thing. They're not exactly the same thing, even though they are related. Am I communicating? They're not exactly the same thing. Now, what is a number? What's a number? Any idea? What's a number? Oh yeah. I put it anyhow.
Numbers are symbols.
Symbols, Use the count. Who has any idea? Okay. What? Figures. Any other person? Okay. Numbers are good. Numbers are abstract. They are actually abstract. They are ideas conceived in the mind. These are ideas conceived in the mind, used to do what? Count or measure what? Quantities. Am I communicating? Numbers are ideas. They're abstract. They're actually abstract. Any idea an abstract thing? Yes. Because you cannot touch it. You just there. But it exists. So numbers are ideas conceived in our minds. Used in what? Counting or measuring what? Quantities. Or for counting and measuring what? Quantities. So now let me explain what I mean by idea. For example, now, that's why they say, let me not go to the Bible. Let me just explain something. What if you consider something in your mind? That even in law courts, are you aware that in the law court that I may kill somebody, and you also kill somebody? Are you aware that we may not face the same punishment? Are you aware? Yes. Why? The intention. In the law court, they will drag you until they discover your intention for that killing. So, what you conceive in your mind is so powerful. Human mind is so what? Powerful. And whatever you are doing physically, you had already conceived it in your mind, except the thing just happened. You didn't think about it. You just responded. That's why someone that may be out of fear or out of maybe trying to defend him or herself, kill somebody, may not exactly. They don't call it what? Murder. True of us. They don't call it what? Murder. They call it what? Manslaughter. Because having passed through the process of whatever they do in the law court, as you are talking, as your lawyer is presenting the case, as the judge is sifting out points. From there, you can go, this thing, this person did not do this out of what? Intent to kill that person. Now, I'm trying to point out how powerful our mind is. So now, number is what you just conceived in your mind. But numerals talks about that thing you have already conceived in your mind. Numeral is more like outward representation of that thing you have done what? Concealed in your mind. That's why if you bring a Chinese today and if you bring a Chinese and bring an Arabic person, bring an Igbo man, bring different people from different races, from different races, bring them together, and in their mind they will have three in their mind, three of us. But when they want to write three, they may not write three in the same way. They may not write three in the same way. But if you open their mind, you will see what? Three. But they will not represent it the same way. In their mind, number is sent in everywhere, worldwide. Number is what? The same thing. Three is three in human mind. But if I want to represent it, I will represent the what? Use numerals that is in line with where I grew up, where I studied, my race, or what have you. But in all, they are all the same thing, number in mind. So that's why you have different numerals. They will tell you Arabic numerals, they will tell you Roman numerals, you also have Chinese numerals. Different, they have their own word. Even before the advent of this, what is called all these colonial masters, we have our own system of counting, three of us. But in our mind, you want to count 200, but they will use their count whatever to count it to. But in their mind, they have what? 200. A Chinese may be in China somewhere, as at that time when there was no, you rarely see people going worldwide like today. They are on their own, counting the same 200, but using their own system. But in their mind, maybe the person want to do business transaction. What the person have in mind is what? 200. Now somebody here in Igbo land, as at that time, we're talking about Abego. Abego is how much? 200, right? Abego. But someone out there in UK, even before they came, will have the same 200, but we use their own system to do what? Am I communicating? I'm trying to point out the difference between what? Numbers and what? Numerals. So having done that, we'll still talk about this numeral. I just want to tell you how they are what? Related. Now let's focus on what? Numbers. I'll define numbers, right? Good. Now, I want to talk about, do a kind of different numbers we have. Split them where they belong. Am I communicating? Now we have numbers here. Here, under numbers here, we have discrete. We have what? Continuous numbers. We have discrete numbers and we have what? Continuous numbers. We have discrete number and we have what? Continuous numbers. Or let me start like this. Discrete, there's how. Let me start with the one. Let me not confuse you. Let me start with the one that you are familiar with before I enter discrete and continuous. It's not wrong, please. I want to say something first. There's nothing wrong with it. By the time I'm done, you understand why I clean this. Leave whatever you do. By the time I'm done, you understand why I did this. Because this discrete, the classification I want to write now. There are some that are even in that classification. There are some that are discrete. There are some that are what? Continuous. And if I use this pattern, I may start linking up and the ball, it will be scattered. That's why I want to start from the one we are familiar with. Then you understand why I did that with time. Now we have under here we have real. We have real numbers. We have real numbers and what? Imaginary what? Numbers. We have what? Real numbers and what? Imaginary. We have real numbers and what? Imaginary numbers. Now, under real numbers, here, there are numbers you cannot, it's not your normal number you see, you count. I'm not getting that. No, those numbers are not really, as the name implies, they are what? Imaginary. They are not number you come in contact with on daily basis, use in your different calculation at normal level. I'm not communicating now, but real numbers are these numbers you know, you are familiar with. They are rare. You can easily work with them without passing through one formula and combination, or you can just, this is what it is. If it's 1, it's 1. If it's half, it's what? Half. Now, but here, under real number, let me finish up here. Under imaginary number, we have what is called, there's another number that combine this and what? This. There's another number that combine real number and the what? Imaginary number. That number is known as what? Complex what? Numbers. This one I'm trying to run away from. I am still entering the but no problem. Here we have what? Complex what? Numbers. Complex numbers is a combination of what? Real number and what? Imaginary number. Now, this complex number is not, this imaginary or complex number, as case may be, those that use it more often are those in the computer, ICT, electronics, engineering. I'm not communicating. These are people that use it mostly. But you as a pharmacist in your level, only you don't really need it. But I just want to mention it for you to know that there is a number like what? Like complex. You still don't know where you see yourself. Now, imaginary number. Have you seen anything like this before? Aye. What does it mean? No, not numeral. I is actually root minus 1.
Yes.
Root what?
Root minus 1.
Minus 1. Am I communicating? Yes. So maybe you see something like this: 2i, 3i. Now, a number in this form, bi or ai, is a what? Is what? An imaginary what? Number. Now, you can also see the one in this form, a plus bi. This is a complex number. It contains both real and what? You may see something like this: 2 plus 3i, something like this. This is a what? A complex number. This 3i, if I split this 3i actually means, have you ever solved the question? Let me tell you why this is not a common number you see. Have you ever solved the question? And maybe you are calculating, punch your calculator root minus 9 to tell you error. Your calculator will tell you error, but it's actually 3i. Root minus 9 is actually what? 3i. See why it's the 3i. From your sword, this root minus 9 is what? Root minus 1 times what? 9. True or false? You split it. Root minus 1 times what? Root 9. You go down again, you have root minus 1 times what? 3. Root minus 1 is what? I times what? 3 is actually what? 3i. This is a different field, but I don't want to go into that. But I just want you to know that this is, such number exists. You know, we are classifying numbers. So if you are doing classification, you should point, even if you will not go deep, but at least you should say what it is. No, we have real numbers and what? Imaginary numbers. Now, we are done with imaginary, blah, blah, blah. Now, let's focus on what? Real numbers. Let's focus on what? Real numbers. This is where you start seeing, before you understand real numbers, you must understand number line. You know what is number line, right? Yeah. Good. Number line starts from negative infinity to what? Positive infinity. That's number line. Now, that number that appears on the number line Both the one you are seeing and the one you are not seeing are what? Real numbers. Let me explain what I mean. This is a number line. 0 is what? Neutral, right? Here is negative what? Infinity. Here is positive what? Infinity. From here, negative. Whatever it starts from is negative infinity. Let's start from here. Let's say we say we have -4, -3, -2. Sorry. Let's say we have -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1. This is 0. Am I communicating? Let's say we have something like this. Then here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, these numbers on this number line, both the one you are seeing, this one, and the one in between, are aware that millions, if not up to billions of numbers that are between here and here? Are you aware? Are you aware? But because you cannot write it and leave it, you need the space here. There are numbers there. Both the numbers here and this one you are seeing make up the what? Real numbers. My fractions, my what have you go hand chart between what? Am I communicating?
Yes.
Both rational, irrational, and what have you. They are here in this number line. So number lines are the one you can see on the wall. They are represented with what? So real numbers are represented with the what? Number line. But you may not see all the real numbers. Hope you know. Yes, because here, can you see 0.5, 0.333 here? You cannot see it. Now, having done that, I'll list the real numbers, then I'll stop here. I'll go to final year. When I'm done with them, if any small space I have, even though we may not have time, but I'll try and see what I can do today before the end of the day. Are we together? Now, let me just list real numbers then with that. Now, under real numbers, you have your. Let's start from let me use this to describe it. This real number, right? This one you are seeing boldly from negative to the end are the what? Integers. They are what? Number one, we have what? Integers. We have what? We have what? Integers. Integers are this one you are seeing. Are we together?
Yes.
They are what? Integers. Now look up again. Look up again. Look up again. That means we have negative integers and positive integers, right? Is 0 an integer? Yes. Yes. 0 is an what? Integer. Are we together? Now, from this 0 to the positive side, the ones you can use in normal counting, these ones are the what? Natural numbers. Natural numbers. From 0 up are what? Natural numbers. Natural numbers. Are we together? Then number 3. From 1 up to the positive to the positive what? Listed are what? Oh, from 1 to the positive infinity are what? Whole numbers. Number 4. We are done with the one you can see with your eyes, right? On number line. Remember, are we together? You've done the one. So this one are the visible. This one are the visible real numbers on the number line, right? True of us. True of us. Good. They are the visible real numbers on the what? Number line. Now let's go to the number lines that you can, numbers or number lines you cannot just see with your eyes. Sorry. I'm not complicated. Now we have, even though yes, Okay. Let me say rational number. There are part of rational number you can see. There are part you cannot see. I'm getting. I will explain rational numbers. I think maybe let me just list them. I think my time is up. I will explain later. Okay.
Yes.
We have irrational. Let me just list them. I've explained from here to here, right?
Yes.
So we have rational, irrational what? Numbers. Then we have, I will explain what I mean by discrete numbers. We have what? Continuous what? Numbers. What other numbers have I not talked about? I think that is all. In our next class, I'll make our time to do what? The one you are familiar with, you've been using since you are primary school. I think they should be here. They should be under what? Integers. They should be under. But by the time I go deep into integer, I will explain them. You start having your what? You start having your what? Odd number. Even numbers, prime numbers, right?
Yes.
Good. Those ones are under what? Integer. Because there are some of them that are negative. True of us. True of us. Some are positive. True of us. So let's stop here for today. So this is, I've opened your mind now. I open your mind now. So browse more, study more on this. In our next class, we will give examples and on how question on this topic can come. So once I'm done with how question, listen carefully. Once I stand in front of you and give you an example of how question can come from a topic, just know that if I come next time, I can point it at the come and give you question to solve. So in a way, and also I can get the record there. Record until your exam. Please ensure that you take it what? Seriously. Ensure you do what? Take it what? Seriously. All right. Thank you very much. I'm 8 minutes late to the exam. Let me go and so we'll see. Whenever I have chance today, I'll come around. Remember, I told you I'm not able timetable. By right, I should be here teaching, right? But other duty I have to do what? God, I must go and do what? Do it. That's why I said I don't have timetable. Anytime I can come. That's why I advise you stay in your class. The only time I know I cannot come in here to teach is your break. I can't try it. So make sure that you are in your class. It's very important. There are a lot of things to study in this semester. Don't joke with it. And this is the time to start anew. If you messed up in your first year, this is time to do what? Correct it. Okay, thank you very much. See you when we meet again.